REKT Podcast is brought to you by Honey Miner. Want to start mining, but never had the technical skills or time? Honey Miner is the answer. Honey Miner is a one-click install mining software that downloads directly to your computer and earns you Bitcoin. No more writing scripts or configurations. Just download the desktop app and start mining immediately. What are you waiting for? Go to honeyminer.com and start earning Bitcoin while you sleep today. That's honeyminer.com, on Twitter at GetHoneyMiner, and Telegram at t.me/honeyminer.
Did I miss it or?
No, you can do it right. Do it right now.
Oh, okay. I'm Donny Crypto, and this is REKT.
Yo, what up? This is REKT Podcast. I am Bunch You Bets, along with our wonderful hosts. Cynthia, how are you doing today?
I am fantastic right now, you guys.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
My day just got a lot better. So
well, that's because you're recording the podcast with us. And,
exactly. Did we lose Chamber? He has like an oh shit look on his face.
No,
Chamber. No, he's here.
It's a different oh shit look.
And of course, as always, Chamber.
what is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today?
That sounds like we're doing great. And we have a very special guest with us today. You definitely know him from Crypto Twitter. He is Donny Crypto. Donny, what is up?
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely. How you been, man?
I've been pretty good, man. Moved out to Vegas. I've been playing a lot of cards. Doing a little bit of trading, but not too much. Only when it's really, really appropriate to rile up some people on Twitter and tell them that I don't know what I'm doing, only to win like 85% of the time. So it's been a good time so far out in Vegas, man. You know, we got a boat here.
So that's pretty awesome. So you just recently moved out to Vegas, right?
Yeah, dude. I'm out here like 3 weeks, and then I have a buddy in New York subletting my apartment out there. And yeah,
man, living the dream. Living the dream.
That is
pretty
cool.
dude.
Sure.
Have you guys ever, Cynthia, Chamber? Have you ever been to Vegas?
Yes.
You laughed at me like you live there too.
I've been twice, and it's been an extremely wrecked experience both times.
Yeah.
Chamber,
you ever
I've gone for work maybe a half a dozen times, and it's
only half a dozen times.
Yeah,
I've been about. That
it's
many
too much.
times.
I can't handle it. I mean, we go there, and it's. I mean, when you're there for work and you can't get as wrecked as you want to, and you're whining.
That's a
clients.
social construct, man. That is a false construct.
You can get as wrecked as you want to.
Exactly.
If you don't want to get fired,
my ability to close deals goes down drastically. The
see,
more.
When you start
opposite.
drinking, are you serious?
See, I'm totally the opposite. My ability to close deals goes up when I'm drinking. That could be because I worked in beer sales for a number of years. So I was definitely closing deals while drinking most of the time. But
that's awesome.
Anyway,
that job.
that's neither here nor there. So we got an awesome show for you guys today. Obviously, Donnie's on. He's going to share some awesome stories. We'll do some news, and and we'll get it. We'll keep it to like a tight hour-ish. And anyway, yeah, man, Donny, thanks for coming on. So typically how we start this show is we get to know our guests' journey through crypto a little bit. So why don't you tell everybody out there kind of where you started, where you came from in your crypto journey, and kind of how you got to where you are now.
Yeah, I'll give a pretty brief overview. I got Bitcoin first in 2013. Didn't really do anything too interesting with it until the end of 2016. I was working full-time as a salesperson. I really didn't like what I was doing, so I started getting back into poker. I kind of played a little bit of poker in college to support myself a little bit, and refound it back in 2016. And I started playing again, started kind of making a little bit of money, and then suddenly just decided, like, January 2017, like, I have savings, I'm fucking over it, like, I'm so work right now, I'm just gonna quit, my rent's cheap, I don't have student loans, and figure out life, dude. So I just quit my job January 2017. Bought some.
Seems like a perfect time.
yeah. It was some serious run good on my part. I was very, very fortunate to not only be into Bitcoin like 6 to 12 months pretty heavily prior to coming and quitting my job from poker, but also discovering Ethereum in February as well. So that was a pretty big win-win. And then I kind of after being in Bitcoin Ethereum ventured off Coinbase onto Poloniex. Started to realize on Poloniex there was absolutely no fundamentals in this market whatsoever, and basically just started looking for patterns. So the first big pattern for me was just whenever SegWit was a word that was announced around a coin, I set up a scraper on Twitter that would send me an alert to let me know when that would occur, and I would just buy in. There wasn't any automated trading or anything like that, but the markets were so inefficient that it could take an hour to 2 hours for an order book to react to that SegWit might have been announced by a particular project. And at the time, just by scraping Twitter and going through GitHub and figuring out when these things might happen, I was able to catch like the Litecoin pumps, the Vertcoin pump, Grossel coin. What was the other one that had SegWit?
That's one I haven't heard in a while.
Syscoin, like all these projects started announcing SegWit, and then there were a number of other things that kind of came about. That led me to start Moonshot Crypto, which sort of was an aggregated database of all the different words that I found, and made that into like a signals product that we sold for a little bit. Towards the end of 2017, I was approached by one of my customers of that group to start a hedge fund. So we organized the hedge fund for about 6 months, and then kind of at the end, it just felt like too much of a job and too much of me not being able to trade when I want, or if I just want to chill out and like not do anything or play cards for the day, like it just became too much like a job. So I decided not to go through it. And yeah, now I'm hanging out in Vegas and trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. I'm talking with a couple of people to do like freelance sales work. But yeah, crypto's been really great to me, and I'm super fortunate that I was able to get in when I did.
That's awesome. Chamber, you taking notes on how to scrape Twitter for code words?
Yeah,
or?
I'm scratching my phone. It's not working.
He's scraping Twitter right now.
I got to get a new phone.
That's funny, man.
I was going to say, I just love the sentence, I discovered Ethereum. When it's like, are you kidding me right now? That's a great sentence to have in your bag.
Well, it's funny.
Right.
I mean, like when we were talking to like Crypto Chris Walken, and it's these guys that have been around for forever, years, and years I say, or forever, but it's just a couple years. But like he was mining Ethereum at like 12 cents or some stupid shit like that. It's crazy, man. So it's it's nuts. Like meanwhile, we're sitting here in a REKT market, but anybody new out there, well, it depends on when you got in, right? So anybody new out there, there's still opportunity to be had. But that's a cool story. I wanted to ask you, just based on what you just said there, because I know I had listened to you on on another show on Crypto Street, and you were talking a lot about, at the time, like bots and automated trading and things like that. Can you kind of just touch on that stuff for our listeners a little bit?
Yeah, so I've done a couple of different things. So first, I kind of alluded to the like kind of like analysis of text on Twitter to figure out like what's going on, what the market's interested in. And then I developed, alongside a couple of members of Moonshot, some strategies around just automated like an automated signal in general. So like specifically when to buy and sell, but it never got to the point where it was really able to fully execute on like a buy-in and sell, like full-time, real-time automated buying and selling. Never got to that point because BitMEX, there's just so much fucking shit going on in that order book. But so I guess as far as automation, there are two types of things that you can really do. So the first thing is what people think, like what people really don't even know what it is, but it's called market making. And it's not the idea that someone's purposefully manipulating an order book. Essentially what they're doing is they're placing a lot of buys and sells in rapid succession in order to capture like when those spreads are kind of wide. So they're just basically capturing the difference in the spread. That's actually market making. It's not like, I don't know, someone at BitMEX just like stop running an entire order book. That's not what market making is. That's just manipulation.
Right.
So there's that's one type of automation. And then the second type of automation is something that will use like either technicals or some sort of math-based signal to make a longer term trade. So I haven't really been too involved in the former. It's more like, okay, how do we identify what's going to happen in a month and how do we place our bets accordingly? That's the automation really that I've been involved in.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, and then I actually just started looking into stuff like that, just because I'm curious about the, not having to stare at a chart for 12 hours a day. But
yeah, I would look into Quantopian. That's the website that I tell everyone to take a look at if you're at all interested in algorithmic trading or just quantitative trading in general. Yeah, take a look. Quantopian.com. They're not even paying me to shill this. I'll disclose it.
What is it? Quantopian?
Yeah, Quantopian. So quant, like quantitative, and opian, like utopian.
Ethiopian.
Yeah, or Ethiopian, exactly.
quantitativethiopian.com. That's a different thing. That is a very different thing. Don't go there.
Right. It's second to 2girls1cup.com.
That is definitely don't go there either.
Moving along.
The craziest part is
2girls1cup.com Bitcoin faucet.
They're Jesus Christ. They're not paying him to shill that either. So unless they are. Anyway,
they could be.
So this podcast is named REKT. Sounds like you've had a pretty awesome run in your crypto career, but we do like to ask if you have had any REKT crypto stories along your journey to share them with some of our audience who might have gotten in at the at the tops here, that's kind of feeling a little woe is me, stuck and wrecked in this market. If you got any REKT crypto stories to share, how about that?
Please make me feel better.
Yeah, this is actually also known as the Make Chamber Feel Better segment.
This is the whole reason for the podcast.
Right.
So, around like August or September of last year, I lost like 220K in a day trying to short 5,000. When
it's working, Donnie. It's working.
That makes me feel better too.
God, that's wrecked.
Oh my God.
So. Hold on. Am I able to show a chart here?
No, unfortunately.
We can see it.
Well, we can see it.
We
If you
can see it, but they won't be able to see it. Yeah.
Oh, they can't. They won't be able to see it. All right.
No.
Well, I'm trying to show up my exact TA when I tried to short 5,000.
Oh, it sounded like you had a home run.
Yeah. So it was. Hold on.
He's got it saved like in a folder somewhere. Like
yeah. I have the chart. So it was October 29th. Bitcoin was like hovering around 55, and then it like went on an up move to around like 8K, or like I think it was around 8K. Hold on, let me zoom in. Let's see what the resistance is. Yeah, it was like 7,800. So I kept trying to short that all day. I was like, oh my God, how the fuck is Bitcoin like worth this much? It can't be worth this much. Like we haven't had a dip in so fucking long. And eventually I exhausted like half my BitMEX account doing this. Thank God fucking November and December happened, or else I might be looking for a job.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's a good, hey man, that's a good REKT story. That's the kind of stuff that will make others feel less wrecked holding their own bags now. So that's a good one. Now, then we also like to, let the audience get to know you a little more as a, outside your Twitter handle. How about a real life REKT story you can share with the group?
A real life REKT story?
Yeah. So like anti-crypto,
Anything you can think
however
of
you may interpret the word REKT in that sentence.
Yeah, so this happened Memorial Day 2016. I went to Staten Island to party with home friends for Memorial Day. And
this will lead into Chambers' Staten Island questions that he wants to ask you. So.
Nice. So we're all hanging out, having a good time, drinking. It's getting close to like 4 or 5 in the morning, and I'm just like, oh shit, I gotta go to Manhattan for work right now. So
Chamber, you can close deals.
I'm impressed.
So I'm like completely shit faced. I have like done every single substance that day, like save probably Molly and pills.
Oh,
like I'm just fucking wrecked. So
I must have been hanging out with McAfee and Brock Pierce.
So, no, dude, just a bunch of degens from Staten Island that like I used to play poker with back in the day. Anyway, so I'm getting on the train to go to work, and then I get to the boat. Everything's good. I like don't even realize that I like reek of just like alcohol and cigarettes, and like I probably my eyes look like someone stabbed them. So I get into work, and I go to like make coffee, and I must be stumbling or something.
Oh no!
Because my boss walks over to me, and I'll never ever forget this. So my boss walks over to me and goes, "You need to go home." And I go,
boy.
And I go, "What are you talking about?" And he basically says something along the lines of like, "You're fucked up." Like,
right.
You shouldn't be here.
You shouldn't be here. You ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah. So he's like, "You should go home." And I thought, for a split second, I didn't consider that he was firing me, and I was just like, "All right, sounds good."
Oh yeah. All right, cool. I'll be back tomorrow.
So you were actually fired?
No, I wasn't. Dude,
oh, okay.
I was the top salesperson in my company. There's no shot they were firing me.
No way.
You could have probably got away with saying that you were out with clients or something the night before, and
no shot. They know my behavior.
Right, you had a track record. That's funny.
I used to walk into work and just start yelling, making money at people.
That's pretty funny. That's a good wreck story. Chamber, don't get that wrecked before work.
No, I'm a very responsible worker.
Well, it reminds me a little bit about when I worked in the beer industry, because we used to have these like national sales meetings, and where everybody would go out till all hours of the morning, and then you would have a 6 a.m. wake up call. Your first meeting would be at 7 a.m. and literally they would hand you a beer at 7:30, and you would do a toast, and it was crazy. Like it.
That reminds me. Did you guys watch the TV show Mad Men?
I never got into
these
Mad Men.
typical ad execs in the 60s, but you mean they would walk in and literally just start drinking when they got to the office and drink all day long. And I'm like, how the fuck are you leading a productive life? Right? They really did.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm built that way now. It's just like Donny said, it's a social construct.
I need a solid 8 hours of sleep every night.
Jesus Christ, dude! Don't be such a bitch.
Oh, are you kidding me?
We're parents. We're the two parents here.
Oh,
So.
yeah,
I'm barely a parent. I just need sleep.
All right, I don't want to hear the parent excuse. Do either of you guys have a nanny? There's no parent excuse involved, because it's like you're a third of a parent.
No.
If you had a what? A nanny?
A nanny.
Oh, no,
I
don't
have
have
8
a
children and no nanny, so I'm
You have
momming
8
pretty
children?
hard.
Wait,
Yeah.
that's more than I thought.
I have a blended family. 5 are biological and 3 are my bonus children. But
Bonus kids.
Bonus
Once you get to
kids.
5, you get 3 extra ones.
3 extras.
yeah, I birthed 5 of them, so I'm momming pretty hard.
Yeah, you
You
mom.
are definitely
Mom's so
momming hard.
Yeah.
Mom so hard.
That's how I roll.
Motherfuckers trying
I
to
didn't even
find
know
me.
people were capable of having 5 kids. That is
Haven't you ever seen the Brady
Looking at
Bunch?
me. Right? We are the
Wait,
modern
that
day
was
Brady
only
Bunch,
6.
my husband
That was
and
only.
I.
That was only
Yeah,
6
we have way
kids,
more
though.
than them.
Get your 70s TV show right, okay? It's 6 kids.
Sorry, it's 6 kids. They
9
had a nanny though.
9
They had a
people
nanny.
total.
the nanny name, friend.
No, the flashy queen from Flushing. That's it. The nanny.
Yeah.
Fran Drescher.
I used to love that show.
Jesus. All right. So moving right along, we are going to.
I don't think half the audience is. I think we're like going to be older than the target audience. I don't think they even know what the nanny is.
The nanny is
You
pretty
think?
old. I mean, it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's
That's
on
a
Nick at Night.
That's a mid-90s sitcom.
Yeah.
That's a mid
Yeah,
'90s
no, but-
thing, dude.
How old
but
are you, Donnie?
Anything.
I'm only 27, but
No
on my
shit.
yeah.
He's a
He's
a mature
younger than us.
27.
Yeah, he's got some years on him, you know.
Did you say a mature 27?
Yeah, mature 27. You
I'm
got those
sitting half naked smoking a weed pen.
Yeah, we can see you.
I stand by my comments.
Yeah, well,
Well,
that
my
makes
interaction with Donny on Twitter says otherwise, but
Oh yeah, I trolled you for some reason.
yeah, you trolled the shit out of me.
I used to
going
troll
here.
too.
We're
When I was
going
brand
here.
new to crypto Twitter, I said I wasn't even going to bring this up, which I'm not. 'Cause I'm way over it now. And I forgot about it, actually, until I got into a little brawl with Killer Whale the other day, but we won't talk about it later.
And we are off the rails.
Killer, what did you do? Be nice to Cynthia. She's a good woman.
We are off the
Oh,
rails.
now Donnie likes me. Now that I have a fucking podcast.
Honestly, I like to troll everyone new that I see with followers on Twitter. It's just fun
my
for me.
God.
I can't wait till I get trolled. That's how I'll know I'll make it.
You know you
Chamber,
made it somehow.
If Donnie's a mature 27 for doing that, then you're a very, very mature, whatever
You're like
age
an old
you are.
man.
I am an old man. I'm
Gandalf, where's your staff?
I got into my career pretty early, so I was always kind of the youngest at work. And then once I got into crypto, I got
you
a
became
real
the
real
youngest.
shock on how
That
old
shit
I was.
ages you.
Yeah,
Well, no,
you
I'm like
became the oldest.
I'm 35, and I gotta be in the 90 percentile as far as the age.
Yeah,
like I mean I'm old.
I'm 31 and I feel old in.
It's like being an
crypto land.
athlete. When you're 35 in crypto,
Yeah,
you're
that's
old
it.
as
You're
shit.
old. You're.
Oh
That's
yeah.
it.
I mean, how old's LeBron? Like 32. He looks like
And-
he's 55.
It's actually probably the
That's
same.
because
Like
he doesn't use Rogaine, sir.
That's right.
Yeah, he tried for a while, I think,
I
but
feel like his hair's coming back. He must be trying some new product.
he can afford it. You
He's
know?
got
I was
L-
going to say.
How did
Yeah.
wait? All right, so I'm gonna completely derail this conversation.
Well, I
Fair
think
enough.
we're already there, but let's go.
How
Go
is
on.
where would LeBron James find hair plugs?
I don't know. Hey, look. I mean, I don't know how hair plugs even work. I don't know how hair plugs work.
No, he's living in LA now. He's got that that
I don't know.
that
Trump gets
Hollywood.
got to hook up on hair plugs. So.
Well, the biggest hair plug I think miracle of all time that I can remember comes from television. You guys watch The Office?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've ever
Yeah.
seen season 1 of The Office, Michael Scott and Steve Carell, who's played by Steve Carell, he is very, very balding up front. And
Really?
oh yeah, go back and look at a
I'll have to
picture
go back and
of
look.
Steve Carell from The Office in season 1, and he's like losing his hair, and then next thing you know, he's got full head of hair for the next 9 seasons.
My favorite
Yeah.
my
Season
favorite
one
one
was
was
good, Dan.
always my favorite one was always Daniel Tosh on Tosh.0.
Well,
And if you look,
he's
you
got,
look at his season one.
Interesting.
Oh, and he I
Really?
think he actually made a montage of the different seasons and how the hair came back. He's very upfront about it.
That's funny. Well, he's got to be. He's a comedian,
Yeah.
you know. So.
Absolutely. You
All right.
You gotta own it.
Next segment, we are going into right into the REKT test. So, Chamber, I don't know if you
All
want to
right.
ask your Staten Island questions in the REKT test, but I think you
Nah,
already got your answers.
we'll save our Staten Island questions for later.
All right.
We'll get into the REKT test. So, Donnie, you've done pretty well from what you're telling us here. So for the next run up, the next altcoin season, and all that fun stuff, we want to see how prepared you are and how safe you're going to be going into the next run up. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions. Answer honestly, and we'll figure out how wrecked you're going to be going into the next one. Okay?
Sounds good, boss.
All right. Question 1: Is your portfolio currently more than 70% altcoins?
Fuck no.
All right.
So far, so good.
All right.
I'm
Solid
like, all right. So to give you a breakdown, I'm like 1/3 cash, like 50% Bitcoin, and then 17% shitcoins,
Fair enough.
or
That seems-
thereabouts.
pretty good.
That seems
That's
again
pretty good.
another responsible portfolio. Just
Yeah.
adding credence to my declaration of
I'm
your,
100% Ripple at the moment. So
the real dream.
yeah.
So you're
Alright.
actually role playing as Timmy from South Park, then? Okay.
yes. Yes.
So question 2. So question 2: Do you? I'm going to say this is going to be a yes answer, but do you use more than 3 times leverage on BitMEX?
If you like 100x leverage, give me a hell yeah!
Hell yeah! That all right. I figured that one was going to be a yes. Do you own either Verge or Tron?
Nope, but I almost... So Nitacoin shilled Verge at like 1 Satoshi last year, and I almost flicked some in. And so this is another REKT story. I didn't really check Bittrex for like a couple months, and when Verge had that run-up, I was like, oh shit, I definitely bought some Verge when Nitacoin said to. And then I go on my account, I'm like, there's no money in here!
Man, imagine having a 1 Satoshi Verge and it getting all the way up to like 2,000 and you're just, that would have been sweet. That would have been a sweet, sweet life.
It's always the scam coins.
I know.
Oh, those pump the hardest.
Dude, scams, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If it looks like it might produce legitimate technology, avoid immediately.
You don't want those good projects.
Exactly.
Since I have my own project that I think is good, I cannot agree with that statement. But otherwise, yes.
How heavy is that EOS bag, Cynthia?
Damn it! He knows about my EOS bag.
Well, just wait. Hold on. That'll come in a couple minutes.
All right, Donnie. Question number 4, Donnie. Do you own a hardware wallet?
Yes, I own. Hold on.
How many? Oh,
He's got them nearby.
He's got several.
He doesn't smoke his.
Everybody dropped several on me.
Yeah.
Here's like a couple of them. And there's some more. I have ones with no coins on them.
So does Chamber.
Yeah, no, I have one.
Chamber has one. Chamber has one ledger with no coins on it.
I do it sometimes to like. This is gonna sound like I'm fucking insane, but when I was living alone in New York, and if like a girl would come over or someone I didn't really know would come over, I'd leave it out, and like
to see if they would steal it.
Yeah, to gauge their reaction, like if they even knew what the fuck it was.
True.
Like a USB stick.
Right. Like if they knew it was if they knew it was like a Trezor or a hardware wallet.
Yeah. Not asking how many movies are on it.
Yeah.
How many movies are on yours, Chamber?
Actually, I couldn't figure out how to get movies on it either. So
I could only figure out how to get movies on mine, and it's the Notebook. And whatever. Don't you even at me.
No way, man. That shit's sad as hell.
Speaking of USB drives, I actually tell my kids that my vape pen is a USB drive when they ask me what it is.
That's a solid
they're like, Mom,
play.
what's this? And I'm like, it's my USB.
You're like,
for the
I'll
computer.
tell you when
And
you're
he's like,
older.
oh.
Is that weed or a jewel?
No, it's a jewel. I don't smoke. And I smoke this so that I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. So.
Fair.
Got you.
Fair.
Just smoke
all right,
cigarettes.
wait.
It's so much
Do we
better.
have one more on the record?
We got one more. Is Cryptopia in your top 3 favorite exchanges?
No, because I'm not poor.
Shots fired.
Wow,
Pew, pew,
love
pew.
it.
Sorry, Chamber.
I love it. No, that's all right. That's all right.
I mean, really.
It's
really.
only my second favorite exchange.
Look at that volume, dude. How can you even get a real
Right.
position?
Donnie, I gotta tell you, I came into this podcast with quite the disdainful taste in my mouth for you after your trolling, but I'm starting to like you and your degenerate self.
Yeah.
He's a lovable guy.
Hey, look, I signed off of yesterday's podcast saying that you need to be up in love, and that's what this REKT podcast is doing today.
I agree, dude. I want to be bigly up in love.
Bigly.
We have Donnie and Cynthia in synergy now.
That's right.
He knew about my EOS bag, so.
To be fair, they disclosed prior to.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. We'll tell you why in a couple minutes. All right. So how do you do on the REKT test?
Did pretty well. Less than 70% alts. He did use more than 3x leverage on BitMax. No Verge, no Tron. Yes to the hardware wallets. And no to Cryptopia. So looking pretty solid.
That's good. So you are, yeah. I mean, but that's consistent. Donnie's not. He's not wrecked financially like us plebes.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
answer yes to a lot of these
Financially.
questions.
right. Yeah. Right. Physically, maybe with almost getting fired from work, but not financially.
This guy knows what he's doing.
Let's get into our news. I'm gonna go first today. Today, Bitcoin Cash celebrates its 1 year anniversary.
It's not Bcash. It's a Bitcoin Cash.
So, Bitcoin Cash, or Bcash as it's lovingly
I think because it's
No.
yeah, we're gonna call it Bitcoin Cash for its birthday today. Typically we call it Bcash. It's celebrating its 1 year
Bitcoin
anniversary.
today, just to be nice for your birthday.
Yeah, we'll just
Nobody else
we'll call you
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin today. It's just got a hat that says
Air
Bitcoin
quotes.
on it. So it was born on August 1st last year and quickly shot up to $800 level in the matter of minutes on that day. And currently, it's valued around 765. So it's going a little Benjamin Button here. It's going in reverse. So we, but you know, we are. I don't know if we're Cynthia. Are we Bitcoin Cash agnostic here? Is that
I
what
am Bitcoin neutral.
Bitcoin neutral.
I'm
Okay.
pro adoption and neutral to Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash.
All right, and we all
I've
know
always been that way, but
you've seen the light in the
I've seen the
aquarium.
light, yeah.
And so we all know the story behind Bitcoin Cash. It's, bigger blocks. So if you like big blocks and you cannot lie, Bitcoin Cash is for you. Chamber, you
shit corners can't deny. When Burr walks in with a big cat.
With an itty bitty block.
and a big block in your face, you get sprung.
Because I like low fees and valuable transactions.
That's nominated for a REKT Grammy Award for sure when we do the REKT
Deep
Awards.
in the block she's wearing.
I can't stop staring. All right, Chamber, you're next.
All right, so my news story comes from Dubai, the great, I don't know, country? No, city.
Come on,
in
Chamber.
the United Arab Emirates. Is that correct?
Come on.
I think that's correct.
REKT.
So what they're trying to do, or what they've started to do, is get their core systems on the blockchain as a way to kind of try and streamline everything. I think it actually makes a lot of sense. The quote is, by harnessing blockchain technology, Dubai will be firmly positioned at the forefront of legal tech and judicial innovation, setting the standards for countries and judiciaries to follow. So I think it's a good idea. I know we talk about medical supply on the blockchain, a lot of that red tape stuff. I think the blockchain could help that out a ton. I think this might fall into that category.
Our judicial system could definitely use it because it blows.
Tough to argue that one.
It blows.
It honestly
Wah,
does.
wah.
It's so inefficient. It's ridiculous.
So are they talking just like your records on the blockchain or what? Do we know?
Yeah, so I think that's the whole kind of system, the whole process, whether it be records, kind of getting you in and out of the court system. I don't know about you guys in Canada. I mean, you can get a court date for 6, 7, 8 months down the line.
That's how it is here.
Yeah, so it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts. But
Highly inefficient.
interesting, definitely. Cynthia.
So I was gonna say don't get arrested in Dubai because you will fly.
Right, because it'll be on the blockchain.
We'll fly through that court.
Yeah, you'll be in prison.
And your record will be immutable, and there's no destroying any evidence.
There's no expunging from the blockchain, guys.
No,
right,
exactly.
Sponging.
Cynthia, what do you got?
Oh God, I have SIM hijackers steal over $5 million in Bitcoin in first reported crime of its kind. Apparently, this 20-year-old dude from Boston was arrested earlier this month for stealing over $5 million in Bitcoin, and apparently it happened during Consensus this year, which I was at Consensus.
Wow.
Is your Bitcoin okay?
That is the definition of REKT.
Yeah, no shit. And
no kidding.
Everybody was talking about it beforehand too, like don't connect to public Wi-Fi. And all this
I
shit.
did see stuff like that. Yep.
Everybody was like, yeah. Anyways, so this, I actually have a personal story related to this. My husband was SIM swapped, probably 6 months ago, maybe 8 months ago. We were fairly new to crypto, and we had a bunch of money on exchanges and a bunch of money in Bitcoin sitting on Coinbase and just all over the place because we were really actively trading. And most of it was on his accounts. And somebody went into our mobile carrier store physically, acting like they were him, got a new SIM card, swapped it out, and we're literally, there's nothing you can do about it from your end. And we were standing there watching his phone, and all of a sudden said, like, no service. And all of these emails were coming through that we could see on our laptop saying, like, your password to this has been changed. Your password to this. Like,
Oh
it happened
my God,
so
that's a
fast.
nightmare.
I couldn't even get a phone person, like a representative on the phone, before they were completely done. They had changed all these passwords. Luckily, we had 2FA through Authy set up on the ones that we had money sitting on, and it was just a fucking mess.
So but they still couldn't get to you because of your 2FA? Is that what I'm
Because of the
getting at?
2FA is what saved us.
Holy
So-
cow.
Now, what
that's a
exactly is 2FA?
It's just
So 2FA is this completely unnecessary technology that is real onerous to implement because it takes you 5 minutes to withdraw your crypto.
Yeah, it seems
you
like
can
it's a
just-
hassle.
Yeah, it's a hassle. Don't use it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Noted.
if you don't want to get. If you want to
Also, please save all passwords in Evernote.
In Evernote, yes.
a la Ian Molina.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. I listen to everything he says. So that's good.
Wait,
Dude,
this team is. Oh, fuck, I'm
that's
not
a
gonna.
nightmare. That is a nightmare, though. Holy cow! I can't
It was
believe.
it was really scary, and thank God.
Yeah, those SIM
I
swaps.
never
I
even
hear.
thought-
It's a complete nightmare, man. How does someone so short become such a prodigious Nigerian scammer?
I meant the SIM card scamming. Oh, jeez. And we're off the rails again. So, all right.
Donnie bringing the heat. Donnie's
la-
bringing the heat.
Last
Bang, bang.
Last story here, Donnie. I'll lead you into your story here, and then I will let you talk about it because I see you talking about this subject a lot on Twitter. So the title is "The OTC is much larger than Bitcoin exchange volume." So it's then it says where the real whales trade. So talk a little bit about OTC and what your experience there is versus what you're seeing on what you see on exchanges.
Yeah, I mean, OTC is actually pretty simple. So there are a few players in the game that actually have contacts with miners, and then there's like 5,000 random Telegram accounts that are live action role playing. The ability to access miners and people that can assign, or, like, arrange very large deals. That said, like the volume is definitely real. A lot of like banks and different organizations are not really interested in disclosing to the public that they're buying Bitcoin or that they're doing something in the digital asset space, primarily because they don't want their competitors to kind of like figure out that they're in the digital asset space, and they're trying to keep things that they're doing under the radar. So there's a lot of like game theory going on there. But I think it's just easier, right? Like to purchase, let's say, $100 million of Bitcoin on an exchange. How do you?
Are you gonna stick that on the order books? Like, come on.
Yeah, like unless you're just like spoofy fucking around on Bitfinex, like no one's actually doing that.
Right.
So like that's where it's just easier to do it in the OTC market, and yeah, I don't know. They're, like I'm not really too involved in it, to be totally honest. Like I know people that are involved in it, but I'm not the one that's actively pursuing any of the deals or anything like that.
Sure.
Mainly because it's just like, yeah, a lot of waste of time. A lot of people just like live action role playing and don't really have anything going on.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's just pretty interesting to think that, what we're looking at every day on these exchanges, there's potentially, 10 times the amount of that being traded over the counter.
It's a lot smaller percent of what's actually really being done.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's always
if you're buying 100 million in Bitcoin, you're not gonna fuck with an exchange and stick
Right.
it on the order. You're just not going to.
Right.
So.
you just want the whole, and there are very few people in the world that have that quantity of
do
Bitcoin
that.
to
Right,
sell.
exactly,
And
right.
and want to sell, dude. Like a lot of them, they just they would never sell. Like I'm
Well,
not
that's a good
nearly in
point,
that
too.
capacity, but like I have 100 coins that I'm just gonna ride or die. It's either gonna be worth a fuckload or nothing.
Right.
Right.
Well, that's a good point too. Is like the actual supply of Bitcoin, of that amount of Bitcoin is very, very, very limited. Like
Yeah.
to get one or two people, to do a transaction that large that actually want to sell. So yeah, that's a good point too. All right, so that takes care of us for news. So we're gonna go into and here you go, Cynthia. It's gonna be you and Donnie one-on-one.
Oh,
We're going into the purge.
Be nice to our guest, Cynthia. He's a guest. You be nice to him.
Donnie, if you could purge any crypto project that with no consequences, what would it be? The stipulations are you cannot choose anything that's already been chosen. So we've actually already had Tron, Ripple, someone picked Ethereum, which was bold, and then someone picked Verge. So it is your turn to purge something. What would you purge and why?
Oh, it's the GOAT short of 2018. So Dan Larimer has a history of just like going into projects and then like not doing anything afterwards. So it's beautiful because I haven't been able to short both of his projects, but you can short BitShares on Poloniex, and I've done that in the past. Now I get to short EOS and get another slam dunk, as well as have a nice little chuckle when all the idiot VCs that invested in this lose all their money. So purging EOS would actually liquidate the VC's venture investments faster, and I'd be willing to give up the gains that I could get in the future by its slow, beautiful death.
I redact my earlier statement about liking Donny.
Well, so we were talking before the show about the outline of the show and, you know, what the segments were. And he's like, and I read him which ones have already been chosen. And he's like, oh, great, EOS is available. And I'm like, uh-oh.
No bueno.
Here it comes. I'm like, here it comes. Anyway.
I'm a Dan Larimer fan. So
is Donny, apparently.
I am a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of developers that begin things, don't finish them, and then leave the project to die so I can make money off the bag holders. Huge fan, folks.
Big fan.
I'm a big fan, folks.
He comes in to do the big stuff and leaves the rest to the little plebs to finish his work. Okay?
All right.
Folks, that is what we call a pump and dump, folks.
Fake news.
And it's beautiful.
News.
I like this debate segment. We're gonna come back to this at some point. But awesome. So we got Donny on the board, shorting some EOS and purging the EOS.
5x leverage over at bitmex.com. If you're interested in 10% off your fees, go to my Twitter handle at Donny Crypto. The link is in the left-hand side.
At Donny Crypto.
Hell no, you can use my BitMEX ref link.
We're gonna put all 4 of our BitMEX ref links in the show notes, and whoever you like most, you can use, and then we'll grade it. We'll grade it out.
Feel free to do BitMEX roulette.
I don't know what that is, but
it's like credit card roulette, but with BitMEX links.
Oh, that sounds great. I'm a big fan of that.
Of
awesome.
You are.
Yeah. Roulette, all in. Cool. So REKT Index. So we were calling this the REKT Fantasy segment, but since in the last couple weeks we've decided to put our money where our mouth is, and we're actually taking positions in everything that our guests have suggested to us. So Donny, this is your chance to show your bags. What 3 projects do you think are going to perform well over the next couple months that the REKT team is going to monitor very closely?
Okay, so the first one is Aura.
All right, Chamber, write these down because I don't have a pen.
I've never even heard of Aura.
So it's the market.
Is this the IDEX one?
That's the IDEX one.
Yeah, that's the IDEX token.
All right.
So I'm working with a team that's helping them in setting up a community and setting up like proper marketing for the product and things like that. And I have a huge fucking bag of this shit. And I know
it's done really, really well so far. I've seen a couple people talking about it on Twitter, but I think Messiah might have been one of the first ones I saw talking about it.
Yeah, Messiah is probably the number 1 holder, if not number 2 holder of the token. And I'm fairly high up there as well, although not
number
not
3
as high
or
as
4.
No, much lower than that.
Okay.
Probably in the 30s or 40s, but
REKT Podcast will be the number 10,344 holder of Aura. All right, so Aura, we got that one.
The second one I'm going to show is this project called Tau. So it's another exchange. It's Bryce Wiener's project that he's been working on for a couple years.
Is that TOA?
TAO.
TAO.
It's okay, man. Dyslexia affects us all.
I'm just dumb.
Also fair.
If you spell it backwards, it's oat. So
It sure is. And
All right,
do
so
I,
tell
do I
us
have
more
to,
about Tau.
Where do I have to buy this?
So you can go into the Tau Discord channel.
I told you he was going to show us
Oh.
something that was OTC. I knew it.
It's okay.
I knew
We'll
it.
make it work.
Yeah, there's plenty of liquidity in there. The only exchange that it's listed on is CCEX, but I don't really advise using that one. It's kind of scammy. What was I gonna say? And yeah, so the project that is launching is called Alt Market, and it's going to use Tau as the base pair. So it's another exchange play. I'm pretty bullish on just going on with altcoins, the picks and shovels approach of just buying up all the exchange tokens, and eventually one of them will fucking 1000x like Binance Coin did.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
it's happened, and it's not a bad strategy.
X. We're good.
Yeah,
I highlighted that one.
yeah, that's definitely financial advice.
No, I like
right.
it. I like taking financial advice.
Nice. Okay. Please contact Loomdart if you lose money.
Okay.
That's at
right.
Loomdart on Twitter.
You got one more.
LOOMDART.
Correct. Head of Poloniex support, or I guess finance support now.
You got one more. You got one more to pick here.
One more to pick. I'm gonna shill something that is not out yet, but is going to do an ICO soon.
Chamber, we're going into ICO territory.
I like it.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead before everyone freaks the fuck out. I'm not a paid shill for this, but I did invest 100,000. So
Oh Jesus!
kill yourself. This is me shilling. All
I love it. That's what this
All right.
platform's for.
right, so that's my disclosure. Okay, I don't want. Oh my god, why don't you tell us when you shill something? Oh my god.
All right, so
All right.
what is it?
So it's called Ergo, and it's basically the Korean ontology. So ontology improved upon the Neo blockchain, and then Ergo is another pick your litany of buzzwords, but it's gonna fucking pump, man. It's Koreans. It's being sold to me that they're gonna run everything like Icon, and Icon did exceptionally well, if everyone remembers. You might be wrecked now after I dump my bag all over you, but
Fair.
I apologize for that. You can get into this one. It's gonna be Ergo. And I'll tweet out there.
How do I spell that?
It's AERGO.
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah. So look out for that one. There are a number of very solid investors that are coming in that I can't disclose, but
All right.
yeah.
So we're gonna dump like 100K into this one too, guys. What do you think?
We'll just take a casual 100K from
Yeah, that's all right. I'll spot
yeah,
you
go
guys. It's cool.
RN.
That's it. No
I'm
problem.
independently
Donnie, I need to talk
wealthy.
to you about my project when we're done. If you want to put some more money into something.
Next, we'll have Donnie back to shill Cynthia's project.
BMBT, by the way, just in case anybody wants
What
to
is
know.
it? BNBT?
BMBT.
BMBT.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so
We're gonna need to
But-
improve on the ticker. Like
Buy
the ticker's
my bag token. That's what it's
Buy
called.
my bag
You're
token.
the second person to say that. But I really like it.
Buy my bag token is
Yeah.
now what it's going to stand for.
That's what it's
Thanks,
called.
Chamber.
Buy my bag token.
Awesome. So
why not just like BNB?
BNB.
BNB.
How about
Buy
that?
my bag. Buy my bag.
How about BNB? No one's done that yet.
Right.
Awesome. So that's kind of our last segment here. I did want to ask you before we let you kind of talk about whatever you want. I did see your tweet yesterday or the day before about your and it caused quite a little ripple amongst Twitter. Your $10 million tweet. Can you talk
Was
about
it?
that?
I didn't see it.
Oh, the whole thing. Yeah, so I really like to play devil's advocate with a lot of people, and I always mess with all the libs that follow
You
me.
don't say.
So I like arguing. I wanted to be a prosecutor before like that was the first thing I ever wanted to be like when I graduated high school or whatever. And then I realized those dudes make no fucking money, so but yes, yeah. So the $10 million thing is really just to start up a discussion and figure out like, okay, how do people perceive money, and what conclusions can I draw?
So tell people what the tweet actually was.
I was basically just like, I don't think anyone needs more than $10 million in a lifetime. And
and it kind of stirred up some controversial takes. Like, I mean, $10 million is a lot of money. That's a whole lot of money. And you got some backlash from people saying, "F you, I need $100 million to live comfortably." And then
those people are always those people are always so busto when they say that.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
Like,
it's probably the poor folks saying that.
So I've had this conversation a lot actually with just some of my friends or whatever, and I said that if I got $5 million tomorrow, I could probably live the rest of my life very, very comfortably, never have to work again, do whatever I want. So I tended to agree with your tweet statement there. I'm not sure. I would like to throw it around. Chamber, you think $10 million is enough money?
If I had $10 million right now, I would dump all of that into Ergo and be a billionaire by the end of the year.
Chamber, you're dead to me. You should
right,
be
Donny?
dead to PMBC.
You can chill.
Cynthia, what do you think? $10 million enough or not enough?
Guys, you're talking to a woman with 8 kids. Hell no, it's not enough.
Not enough. Okay.
No.
All right.
Not to live the kind of life that I plan on living someday. So no.
So Donny, what were some of the big arguments against it? Why were people saying they needed more money?
They were just like, "Oh, I don't want to be restricted to make more money if I want to or whatever." I'm like, I don't know how most people feel, but like, once I started having enough money to the point where I could pretty much fuck off for a very long time and not care, like, you tend to value money a lot less because you just like have it. You never have to worry about it. And like, I truly believe that you are a sociopath that doesn't enjoy life if you just like, once you hit a certain amount of money, that's all you think about is like, okay, how do I make even more money? Right? You don't think about like, oh, like, let me find a nice gal or guy to marry and like chill out with them for a little while, like make some kids, like do hobbies that aren't money making. Like, that's kind of like, and that's just like something I've been thinking about from like an existential perspective is like, okay.
I was going to say, not to get too like serious here, but at the end of the day, when you die or you're on your deathbed, do you want to say that you spent your time here like figuring out ways to make more money, or do you want to have actual like meaningful life experiences with people?
And it all comes back to being up in love.
Exactly, dude.
That is the new motto of this podcast, up in love. Awesome. Cool. So that's pretty much all we got. Is there anything else you want to plug or shill or yell at people for, Donny?
If you do not buy Ergo when it goes on Binance, you are going to be very sorry. But if you don't sell before it 10x's, then I'm probably dumping on you.
Those are wise words, because I feel like that happens to a lot of people, especially in this last bull run where we saw
those pumps.
Yeah, where we saw people chasing pumps and not selling at 10x's and thinking they were going to get 100x's, and then now they're holding all the way back down. I saw a tweet from Crypto Bobby yesterday. It was, and I don't know how I would feel about this if I was his friend, but it was a screenshot of his buddy's Delta account and it was a before and after, and it was $50,000 in January, and today it's worth $4. So, like, that's the lesson there is sell on the way up. Take your profits so you can have enough money to to be up in love.
What's his name?
Crypto Bobby, eh? Rough on the friends.
Yeah, I'm sure he got permission.
Crypto Bobby and I have hung out a good bunch. He's an awesome dude.
Dude, he's awesome. I listen to his podcast. I watch his YouTube videos, and I think
Crypto
Cynthia, you
Bobby,
hung out with him.
I met Crypto Bobby
right?
in New York, and we hung out at this security token open bar thing. And
I was at that thing. I didn't see you.
No shit. Well, I wouldn't know because I blocked you on Twitter a long time ago. And when I found out you were coming on the show, I had to unblock you. So, I'll keep you unblocked now. But
feel free to filter my fucking garbage.
And I don't want to be mean because Crypto Bobby was very nice to me. But when we were talking about him in our group a while back, about having him come on the show or something. And I was like, Bobby was really boring when I met him.
Oh, come on. That's not fair.
And
that's mean.
I actually reached out. He follows me on Twitter, and I reached out to him about coming on the podcast, and he totally left my shit on red and didn't even respond. So shots fired, Bobby. Shots fired.
That's funny.
Bang bang.
That's
I'm gonna text him right now and be like, "Yo, I'm on a pod and we're talking shit about you."
Yeah.
Because I didn't even know who he was when I was talking to him. I was talking to some of his friends that he was with, and I was like looking at him really weird, and he was like, "Here we go," and I was like, "Aren't you?" And his friends were like, "Ah, he knows who you are."
Well, that's kind of, that's
somewhere.
one of the downsides, I guess, by not being behind an avatar is people.
Yeah.
I mean, he's very, very popular. He's got, one of the most popular YouTube channels and podcasts.
I'm
and
a
all that
I'm
stuff.
a big fan of Crypto Bobby, but
Me too.
I do have, every time I see him, I feel like his name should be Chad, and he should be the bad. And he should be the bad guy in like remember the old movie Ski School, like in the 80s. Like he should be like the bad guy in like an old 80s movie.
But Crypto Bobby is getting a lot of unwarranted shit here right now. I just want to say,
okay, I take that back, Bobby. He wasn't boring. He was just very quiet.
Yeah, he probably had a long day.
If I ever meet Crypto Bobby, I'm buying him a buffalo chicken wrap, and that's that. Well, we're gonna leave it there because dude likes buffalo chicken wrap. Anyway,
We love
awesome.
you, Crypto Bobby.
Anything else you want to say, Donnie?
No.
Awesome.
That's it, dudes. If you're ever in Vegas and you think I suck at poker, I would love for you to come play with me. We play 25-50. Either the Win, Aria, or the Mirage every week.
That's 25 cents, 50 cents? Is that correct?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
All right. So that's just my advertisement for anyone that wants to chirp with me on about poker.
That's
I love
awesome.
you all, and I would happily take your money.
Cool. Awesome, man. Well, thanks for having us. Just a couple things,
That's right. It's been your pleasure, hasn't it?
It has been our pleasure.
You know what? I say that every time.
I think
Damn
Donnie's in his underwear, guys, just so everybody knows.
That's why it's
say
been
that
my pleasure.
I say that every time. I say thanks for having us. Well, that's thanks for joining us. Thank you. Anyway, follow us on Twitter at REKT_podcast. Join our Telegram group, t.me/REKT_podcast. We have a lot of fun in there. Donnie's in there. You can send him your hand histories. He'll look at them. Leave us a 5-star review and a rating on iTunes. Help us get up there in the ranks. If you haven't listened to the John McAfee episode yet, it's all over the place. So please listen to that. Let us know what you think. And we will leave it here with our BitMEX REKT of the week. We have liquidated long from 18 hours ago, for 7 million contracts at 70 at 75.42. I had a feeling you would like that. That's we leave the podcast with one of these every time.
Yo, that dude just got fucking owned.
Yeah, he got killed, and that's gonna do it for us. This will probably air Tuesday. So until then, I'm gonna leave you with two things. One, be up in love, because that is our new outro here. And then until then, don't get wrecked, and that is financial advice.